Bayern get started with a bang and Napoli continue their Serie A dominance.
We might have some trouble in Madrid, and Liverpool show there's a difference between intense football and championship football. All this and more in episode 85 of the new No Business Soccer Podcast. News, kick us off.
Let's dig in. Yes. Welcome back to the No Business Soccer Podcast. I am your host, Snooze, and we're here with almost the full fam. Of course, we have Brainiac over there hanging out in Seattle, but Danny P is on the ones and twos, and you know who everybody is here to see, our favorite man that's on his way to Japan. Hi, man, Pig, what you sipping on, dog?
Bro, you keep the flows going no matter where you are.
I know. I was off the dome, too.
I love the dome. Well, what I got today, as you know, it is almost September, and it's your favorite time of year. You know what that is? You know what I'm alluding to?
PSLs?
It's pumpkin spice latte season. But for the men, it is Oktoberfest season. So I'm drinking some Oktoberfest beer. This is the Eyinger or whatever they call it, the Marsen beer. I got some more, and I'll probably be drinking those to get rid of them before I go to Japan. And before I go to Japan, it would be even better if you just liked and subscribed this video. You know, it's the best way to tell YouTube, hey, maybe these guys are pretty cool. And I mean, one of them's drinking beer. That's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. Also, it's free. Good. So cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. All the good content, the free stuff. I love free stuff. I know y'all do too. And today, we got a European wraparound, the first one of the season where we're covering all four of the leagues. That's La Liga, Premier League, Bundesliga, and Serie A. And Vic, before I move on, I want to ask you, how did that taste? Because it looked like it tastes good.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's once it hits your lips. Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Take some back to Oktoberfest.
Yeah, it makes me miss Oktoberfest for sure.
You know, this is kind of rude, but it's funny. When I think of Oktoberfest, I think about how Danny P fell. Oh, it's so rude. Okay.
Yeah, we're there, but yeah.
All right, let's stop being goofy now. Let's jump into it because we got a lot to go over. Do we have no, I think yeah, we're getting some slack here, but actually one more thing, okay? There's been a lot of transfer rumors and things that are going on, and I know we haven't talked about them because we talk about the leagues and what's going on, but just know that we are paying attention, and I feel like once the I guess September 1st is right around the corner. Once the window closes, we might have a recap or at least something about like who our favorite signings were, who we're looking forward to the most. So just stay tuned. Don't think that we're ignoring it. We just don't cover that type of stuff day in and day out on this podcast, mainly because we have a lot of stuff to cover. So with that said, I think we should jump right in. First things first, though, we got to go boots on the ground. Yes, in Austin, Texas for the Austin FC Minute.
Well, we suck again. Austin FC failed to get their fourth straight road win. That includes the U.S. Open Cup, but they fall to the second worst team in the league, that is Montreal. We lost 3-2, and honestly, I don't have much to say. We had flashes of really good play, and Owen Wolff balled out as usual, but, I mean, besides those flashes, we continue to look like a team playing pickup soccer at the park, and we never played with each other. It's kind of hard to watch, but we're going to have to because we are back at Q2 Stadium this Saturday at 7:30. We take on San Jose, and a win needs to happen, Snooze. Do you know the last time we won at home? Just guess.
Not any game that I've been to recently. I would say, let's say sometime in May.
No, that would be even worse. It's still been since June 14th. We got a win against the New York Red Bulls. And this next game this weekend is going to be the 30th. It'll be the 77th day without a home win. So, yeah, we need to win. And I would say it would be a great birthday gift. Don't you agree if we get a win?
Yes, that would be awesome. You know what? Yeah. If we end it, my birthday, win, and so we have Spurs earlier that day. We have the Longhorns first game and Austin FC. Oh, that would be a very, very good birthday for me.
We'll get it done. We'll
By
see
the
what
way,
we can do.
I didn't know that they were the second worst team. Like I know that there was a Canadian team that was really good. I just assumed it was the one that just whooped our ass. So
Vancouver was the one that's really good. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Yeah.
even worse. So.
Montreal sucks, but we suck more now, apparently. So,
anything else before we move on?
Just, of course, if you see Hype Man Vic there, come by at First Rounds on me. If you see me at Q2 Stadium, nobody's done it yet. I'm sure nobody's heard, so it's okay.
He'll be on his way to Japan the next day, so he is super excited. He'll probably buy you a lot of beers. He's going to have a lot of fun. So, all right. Well, I think it's time to jump in. We're already 6 minutes in, so let's do this. To Italy.
Let's do it. To Serie A. Yes. Serie A is kicking off, and we're going to kick you off with the top 5 headlines from Serie A match day 1, all starting with number 1, Napoli cruise to Sassuolo.
No slip-ups, no rust. Hell, Napoli didn't even really have to get out of first gear. KDB and McTominay look like they're gelling already. This could be a scary good Napoli side.
Number 2, Gasperini gets off to a winning start in Rome.
Roma held on for a 1-0 win over Bologna, and it wasn't the best match for either side. They both had their chances, but it was Wesley's slow roller that was the difference.
Number 3, new manager, same Milan.
Milan fall at home to newly promoted Cremonese as Allegri's second tenure starts horribly. I'm sure they'll right the ship, but that wasn't just a bad result. It was a bad performance.
Number 4, Nico Paz is the truth.
What a result for Como beating Lazio on opening day, but the star of the show was Nico Paz. His assist, his goal, he's quickly becoming one of my favorites to watch in Europe.
And number 5, the Chivu era gets started with a bang for Inter.
Unlike some other managerial debuts across Serie A, Christian Chivu had Inter ready to go against Torino to the tune of a 5-0 win. It doesn't get much better than that for the Nerazzurri.
Yes, sir, and those are your top 5 headlines from Serie A match day 1. Exciting times, Snooze. Which one was what had you talking most this weekend?
Man, Nico Paz, and I can't wait to break it down a little bit more because that was the one I watched the most. You know, we had a full slate of things going on, but he was appointment television for me.
Yeah, and I think I saw in your notes there you were really going for him there. But those are your top 5. Yeah, those are your top 5 headlines. We're gonna go ahead and go through the match day, and it all started Saturday. Genoa and Lecce kick off the season with a blistering 0-0 draw.
Vieira's Genoa couldn't get it done at home against the Milkmen as it ends in a goalless draw. I'm not sure we really learned much from this one, but it's definitely a better result for Lecce than it is for Genoa.
Yeah, and then following up on that, next match day we had for Saturday was Sassuolo and Napoli. The newcomers could not conquer the task. That is the defending champions as they fall 0-2 at home against the defending champions.
It was really cool because you see the reigning MVP of Serie A, Scott McTominay, get his goal score. He got his goal scoring started early this season, followed by a goal from KDB, who's their new shiny toy in his first action in Serie A as well. Man, it's just all around good vibes for this Napoli side, and I'm excited to see them go through the rest of the season.
And then we go on to Roma and Bologna. Roma squeaked by with a 1-0 win against the visiting Bologna, despite all the action that this game had.
Gasperini's side kept a clean sheet and take all 3 points. There's not much better you can do than that for your first match in charge of Roma. The game was pretty even overall, but Roma missed at least 3 clear shots in the first half. Bologna just couldn't find the back of the net, but Castro had a hell of a game despite missing a few opportunities. Wesley's goal was the one of those where it's one of those ones where he hits it wrong and it kind of rolls at the perfect angle, very slowly, but it rolls at the perfect angle to make it past the line, trickles into the back of the net, and that gives Roma the 1-0 win over Bologna.
And then the money maker from this weekend came as the newly promoted Cremonese beat Milan at Milan 2-1.
Yeah, and I'll say this, excuse me, Cremonese, I was previously unaware of your game. Their goals weren't from luck or Milan misfortune. They took it to Milan. Their second goal was a bicycle kick, and it was probably one of the goal of the year contender. Not probably, it is a goal of the year contender already. In their first Serie A test, they go to San Siro and they take 3 points from Milan. It's an incredible result for a newly promoted team. Meanwhile, Allegri's got to figure things out first because there's a lot of talent on this Milan squad, but they're just not a team yet.
Yeah, and that ended our Saturday. We opened up Sunday, which led to another draw as Cagliari and Fiorentina get a goal and a point apiece from their matchup.
Fiorentina couldn't hold on as Cagliari get a stoppage time header to level things up and split the points. With the unexpected managerial change in the summer, I'm sure there will be growing pains for our Fiorentina, but it was a great way to start the season for Cagliari.
And then the next match, we had a solid win here as Snooze's new man crush, Nico Paz, led Como to a 2-0 win at home against Lazio.
Yes, he's definitely a maker. He is a pretty, I mean, he's like, what, 20 years old? I don't know. He's just a young, good-looking Argentinian guy. I mean, what's not to like? But yes, Como looked like the veteran Serie A side here as they dominated from start to finish, making it look easy against Lazio. If you haven't seen the highlights already, check out Paz's assist and his free kick goal. The dude's incredible. He's just so much fun to watch. Como looked really good. They didn't even have Morata fully heavy to go. Yes, Alvaro Morata, the Juve guy. I mean, he also played for Real Madrid, I believe, a lot of other teams. But anyway, yeah, he's with Como now. And Asandio, who's their other stud young striker, winger, whatever you want to call him, he wasn't even healthy enough to start this match. I could talk on and on about this Como side, but just know that if you haven't watched the game yet, you need to.
Yeah, and speaking of Juve get a straightforward 2-0 win as they hosted Parma in our third match for Sunday. Tell us about it.
Juve take care of business, and Yildiz looks like the star, setting up both goals. And I'm sure Yildiz setting up Jonathan David for their first goal got some Juve fans hot and bothered. You got to ask your friend Christian, Vic, because I know I was right there with them watching that happen. You just expect to see it a lot more this season.
And then Pisa are feeling good as they get a point on the road against last year's third place Atalanta.
I warned you coming in that this was not going to be the same Atalanta that we saw recently under Gasperini. They're no longer the AT aliens. Even with Juric being the Gasperini disciple, it doesn't look like he can lead a group of men in the same way that Gasperini could. They played like they were out of energy already. They played kind of lackadaisical, and they may be losing Lookman. I've been seeing a lot of rumors that he could be heading to some Premier League teams that I like. Not good vibes in Bergamo right now.
And then we moved to Monday as we had another Monday double header night as Udinese take on Verona, both battling to a 1-1 draw.
Udinese were the better team over 90 minutes, but Verona got a late equalizer to ensure they took a point home. Udinese were pretty unlucky in this one, though. They hit the post at least 2 times. I mean, it might have been 3 times, but I just can remember 2 off the top of my head. Udinese looks like they're going to be pretty good. They just got unlucky in this one.
And then closing out match day 1 was Inter and Torino as Inter put belt to ass, beating Torino 5-0, closing out match day 1.
Yes. Caught me off guard. Inter always had the upper hand in this matchup, particularly because it was at San Siro. But not only did Torino have no answers for them, they created problems of their own with sloppy defensive play without their defensive general in Milinkovic-Savic, who's now hanging out in Napoli. Looks like Chifu was really as plug and play as he was made out to be after being in the Inter coaching tree for so long. This Inter team is just humming.
Yeah, and those are your match day scores and results. It was a pretty fun match day in Serie A for Matt. What was your favorite
you don't even have to ask
game
me.
for this one?
You don't even have to ask me, bro.
Your boy.
I was texting. I mean, we were talking about this Como side last year going in, and it was Nico Paz was the one to watch. That was the guy we highlighted, and he kind of broke out last season. But I mean, there was nothing compared to how the season ended with how good they were looking and how good he had become. And he's just built off of that. And of course, he comes over from Real Madrid. They hold a buyback and they do all that stuff. So he's not going to be with Como forever. But just the fact that he's tearing it up right now, and they're not even at full strength yet, I'm just really excited to watch this team. I think it was like an 8 o'clock game, maybe a 9 o'clock game. And I was texting y'all like, dude, this guy's incredible. If you haven't seen it yet, seriously, go check out his assist. I mean, the guy, he does a spin move that you see in like American football field. Like, I mean, I don't know how to describe it other than that. You don't see turns like he did on a pitch in soccer. So it's like, I mean, it's just really cool to see. Plus, then he just like picks his head up, picks out the perfect pass. I mean, it was just awesome. It was really cool to see. But I'll stop talking about him because it's really fun. The other match that I was really excited to watch was Roma versus Bologna, but I felt like it was one of those matches where a lot of good things could have happened, but they didn't, because of just unluckiness. Like there's at least 2 or 3 goals that I remember that could have been clear cut from corners, from dead balls, that they just, Bologna speaking of, they just hit it over the bar or didn't hit it right. And I feel like, if this game's happening in, I don't know, let's say November, December, maybe those go in. But because it's the first match day, it was taking a little bit. Yeah, they had to get up to speed. So anyway, I really enjoyed the Serie A this weekend.
Yeah, and I was just watching the newly promoted teams. I think we had a loss, a win, and a draw. Cremonese obviously being one of the talks of the weekend, but Yeah, it was it's good to see like some sort of
Good time.
parity. And yeah, it's good to see some parity between them. And yeah, can't wait to see them the rest of the season here. But is there anything else we have for Serie A, or we good to move on?
No, I think we're ready to go to Germany.
Let's do it then. To Bundesliga. Yes. Let me get into character here with some Oktoberfest. Bundesliga, German football, Oktoberfest. It's that time
Nothing
of the year.
better.
That time of the year, exactly. But yes, Bundesliga also kicked off this past week, and we will continue to do the same and kick off with the top 5 headlines from Bundesliga match day 1, all starting with number 1, Bayern Munich doing Bayern Munich things.
In our preview of this match, I said that I fully expect Bayern to win by at least 2 goals. Well, they won by 6. We knew that Leipzig would struggle this season, but this was a full-on collapse.
Number 2, Ten Hag's Leverkusen stunned at home.
It was set up perfectly. Opening day, home match against a team that finished just above relegation last season. But after that performance, Mr. Ten Hag has work to do if he's going to hit the heights of his predecessor.
Number 3, Wolfsburg are howling.
Paul Simonis' Wolfsburg start off with a dominant 3-1 win on the road over Double H. The excitement levels for this Wolfsburg side were high coming into the season. Now they're even higher after that.
Number 4, we had a 6-goal thriller.
Dortmund and St. Pauli put on a show in Hamburg, a 3-3 draw with some bangers. I said that even though these teams were moving in different directions, to throw everything you know out and just enjoy it, and man, did we.
And number 5, the newly promoted teams are looking tough.
Cologne takes all 3 points at the death. Hamburg were very close to doing the same, but either way, neither team lost, and they definitely didn't look out of place in the Bundesliga. Better watch out.
Yes, sir. Good job, promoted teams. And those are your top 5 headlines from the Bundesliga match day 1. I got to say, those promoted teams are looking fun. They're pretty fun to watch, too.
A lot of fun. I mean, I have like a soft spot for Cologne because they came and played Stuttgart here. Mm-hmm. So it was really cool seeing them get that header. And the header that they won with, I know we're going to cover the matches here in a second, but the header they won with was like one of those ones where it's just like a disrespectful, like he just like into the ground. It just, oh man, it was awesome. It was awesome. So.
Yeah, it was fun. And we'll go over the matches. I guess we can go ahead and start right now because everything started off Friday as Bundesliga, or as not Bundesliga, as Bayern Munich had an overwhelming 6-0 victory for the home side over RB Leipzig, which we're being told we legally have to call a match.
Yes, legally. Bayern destroy Leipzig with an Olise brace, a debut Diaz goal, and a 14-minute Harry Kane hat trick. Apparently, it's a thing for a German perfect hat trick where it's 3 uninterrupted goals in a half, and Kane did that. And it was just insane to watch. You have to think that Leipzig will be better than what they showed this weekend, but damn, it did not look good for them to start the season.
Yes, and that was your Friday. And then we opened German football on Saturday with Hoffenheim getting the 2-1 road win against Bayer Leverkusen, which means even though it's been only 1 week, technically we have to call them always losing Leverkusen.
Yeah, that does suck. I have to admit, though, when they scored in the first 6 minutes after Hoffenheim hit the post in the second minute, it felt like luck was just going to be on their side. But Hoffenheim were just a better team over the full 90. Lamperley looks like he's a steal for them, and what a result for Hoffenheim.
Yes, and after that, we had Union Berlin giving their supporters a hard-earned 3 points as they hold off Stuttgart.
Ilias Ansah hit 2 ridiculous goals in his Bundesliga debut to give Union all 3 points, and that place was rocking. We've said it before. It's on the bucket list of places to go to. Stuttgart fought back, but a late equalizer from Voltemata was ruled offside, and the home crowd gets what they want, and that is 3 points.
And then Augsburg wins the Battle of the Berg as they take 3 points on the road from Freiburg.
Freiburg looked nothing like the team that finished in the top 5 last season, as they were just plain outplayed by Augsburg. The first goal for the Trees was a bit lucky with the deflection, but nothing lucky about the following 2. Well played, Augsburg.
And then, as we said in our headlines, Wolfsburg get a routine 3-1 win against Heidenheim on the road.
It's all smiles after that start. What a win for Paul Simonis as his Wolves get started with a bang. Now Double H aren't great, but it was just how they dominated and they didn't even let it get close. That was kind of the most impressive thing. They have Mainz up next, which will be a bigger test. But what's up? The main thing I want to know is what's up with all these new successful Dutch managers being bald? Ten Hag, Arne Slot, Paul Simonis, like they all look just the same. And that's not racist. I'm just being, they all look similar. Okay. Cute little bald heads.
It's okay. We got one of Liverpool, so it's fine. But we move on. As Werder Bremen had a steep hill to climb on the road against Eintracht Frankfurt, and it proved too much as they lose 4-1.
Eintracht were flowing, attacking, scoring, and they were themselves as usual. As they're just fun to watch. Their first goal was from Uzun, which I was previously unaware of his game too, and his goal was so good from outside the box. It was one that just looked like it was just on a trajectory to the moon, hits the top corner, and it was awesome. But anyway, you want to know how good they are? They scored 4 goals against a mid-table team in the Bundesliga from last year, and their new shiny toy Burkhardt didn't even score in this game. So Eintracht Frankfurt, I thought they would struggle a bit, and it looks like I was dead wrong.
And Saturday ends with the bang, more so for St. Pauli, as they have an entertaining 3-3 draw with Dortmund.
What a game. Obviously, if you're a Dortmund fan, you're disappointed because drawing with the team fighting for relegation last season is not good. But St. Pauli, they have this type of game in them where if you're playing open-ended football against them, they are DTF, which down to football, I guess is the way you can put that. Eric Smith's goal to level it up was freaking insane. It was off balance, long range, just like chef's kiss good. Couldn't have placed it better if he put it there with his hands.
And then we started off Sunday with a match that was very good for Köln as they get the 1-0 road win against
Mainz. Tough. That's tough.
That's a lot of rough.
Mainz and Cologne looked like they were headed for a stalemate, but a 90th minute header from Cologne gives them all 3 points. This is a very even match overall as Cologne held their own against a good Mainz side.
And Köln scored the only goal of the day, which means Mönchengladbach and Hamburger fight to a 0-0 draw. We usually don't talk about them, but we need the reps. Snooze, tell us about it.
This one ends 0-0. We don't talk about those here, as you just said, but it could have been 3 points for the newcomers in Hamburg really quick. In stoppage time, a ball was curling towards the far post. It had beaten the keeper. It was going in for sure, but another player decided to head it in for good measure, and he was offside, so they waved it off. Or Hamburg could have been in the same one, 1-0. They could have won, but they didn't. So
tough break, man. I gotta go watch that one because reading that I was like, oh man, I would have been so upset.
It's like it's not, you can't watch it and be like, oh yeah, that wouldn't have made it. Like it was going in, and you know how it is sometimes. Like dudes are just being like, oh, I want that goal, or I say it that way, but it's like until it's in, it's not in, right? So they're gonna make sure it goes in. But yeah, he was the reason that they didn't get 3 points in. Like there was no reason for that. He could have just let it roll in, and they would have won. Sucks.
Yeah, well, that is your Bundesliga match day 1 results. A fun first weekend, and this is also the shortest season because there's 2 less teams. And man, this is gonna fly by. I feel, and it's gonna be pretty upsetting once it's done again.
I'm already looking forward to a lot of these teams that kind of like impressed me in this first round. But I'm attaching my wagon to this Wolfsburg side. I was on them coming into the season just because I thought what Paul Simonis did last season with the Go Ahead Eagles, crazy name, but what he did with them, I was just maybe he would be good. And from Arne Slot coming over, maybe this is like a new coaching tree that we just haven't really seen a lot of since Eric Ten Hag. But yeah, man, this Wolfsburg side is looking good. I'm excited to see them continue their reign, their stride, their streak. There you go. Yeah, whatever word.
Yeah, and every time I see Union Berlin and their supporters, it just makes me the itch to go there just gets like stronger.
Did you see the tifo?
Yeah. All right. No, I didn't see the tifo. Yeah, no. Okay, because it was right off camera, right? All the
so the tifo they had you're right. So at the end of it, they had like a big, not explosion, but like all the confetti and everything went everywhere. Mm-hmm. But the tifo, they didn't really show it live. I had to see the highlights later. It was a keeper diving, and he was going across the screen, like across the fans, all the way to the very end of the supporters section. Dude. And then when they got to the supporters section, the ball goes the other side, and he blocks it, and then a big explosion of all these streamers and everything came out. It was really cool. It was really cool to see.
Dude, that is so cool. Bucket list.
Hey, we gotta go. Sure. We gotta go.
Bucket list for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, that was Bundesliga. Anything else we got to touch on, or are we good to move on?
I think we are good to go. I want to see bounce back next time from Mainz and from Freiburg because those are the teams I'm going to be seeing possibly this year. So, let's do better. But yeah, we can move on. So let's do it. Let's go to Spain.
Let's do it. To La Liga. That's smooth, soothing stuff that we got there.
Like a red wine, like a fine red wine.
One of the easiest ones to go down. But La Liga, match day 2. We have another match day down. So here we are again with your top 5 headlines from La Liga, match day 2. And we all start off with number 1, new season, same results for Atletico Madrid.
I could just copy and paste what I said about Atleti after match day 1 as they drop points again, this time against newly promoted Elche. When you have the commentators quoting GTA-ish, here we go again, you know it's bad.
Number 2, are Espanyol for real?
Match day 1, they beat Atleti at home. Match day 2, they take a 2-0 lead on the road at Real Sociedad. I don't know if this lasts, but Espanyol are playing some inspired football early this season.
And number 3, all aboard the Yellow Submarine.
Villarreal destroys Girona and make it back-to-back wins. In the first 2 matches, they've scored 7 and conceded 0. They have Celta and Atleti next, so should be bigger tests, but what a start for Villarreal.
Number 4, pissed off Vinny does it again.
Alonso dropped Vinicius to the bench for this match against Oviedo, and boy, did Real struggle to put them away. That was until Vinny came on in the second half and assisted Mbappe for their second chance before scoring the third, and yeah, he was pissed off.
And number 5, another game, another loss for Sevilla.
After what they showed against Athletic Club last weekend, I was interested to see how they would respond at home. They had their chances, but still, a home loss to Getafe and starting 0-2 on the season is not a good look for Sevilla.
Yeah, heartbreaking, but those are your top 5 headlines from La Liga match day 2. And I think, Sevilla's, man, out of character. I'm sure
I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
Man, it's tough. It's tough. But we can go ahead and get into the match day because match day started on Friday with Real Betis taking on Alaves, and Betis get the party started with a 1-0 win against the visiting Alaves.
What a way to bounce back for Betis after a lackluster first match. They get 3 points at home, and Lo Celso is that dude. Alaves only really had a couple of good chances, but overall, Betis looked like themselves again.
And then Saturday, first match started, saw Mallorca welcome Celta Vigo, and both teams went away with a goal and a point apiece, finishing with a 1-1 draw.
Mallorca left it late, but they get the equalizer to split the points with Celta and send their fans home happy. I felt like Celta were the better team for most of this match, but Mallorca turned it on in the final 10 minutes, and they get it done.
Speaking of 1-1 draws, not a lot of people saw this coming as Elche and Atleti also draw 1-1.
Did I guarantee that they would win this one? I can't remember. I was trying to remember. I did, right? Didn't I?
I think you did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I told you. I was like, I'm pretty sure you just doomed him.
Yeah. And anyway, as I mentioned in the headlines, the commentator was legit quoting the famous GTA line in this one because of how bad things were. I mean, he straight up was just quoting GTA in a match that Atleti were playing Elche, and that's how you know it went bad. I honestly don't understand how they have genuine world-class attacking players and talent in their line, but they can't find goals. It just doesn't make sense to me. Surely they get it figured out against Alaves, right? Like Alaves, they have to do it, or there's going to be some heads rolling.
We'll see. But we ended our Saturday with our stop the count match as Levante lose a heartbreaker 2-3 to the defending champion Barcelona.
Yeah, Levante went into the half 2 goals up, and for as sloppy as Barca was in the first half, I don't think anyone ever doubted that they would come back in this one. This time, there was no controversial calls that swayed the outcome, just a good old-fashioned comeback. Levante showed that they might be able to hang with the teams in La Liga. Like, if this was Atleti, I think they would have won this match, so, you know.
Yeah, and then yeah, that's good. That was our last match for Saturday. We moved on to Sunday, and Sunday kicked off with Osasuna taking advantage of a man advantage, beating Valencia 1-0.
Osasuna bounced back against Valencia thanks to an early red card and a goal from my boy Anta Budimir. Can't really take much from this for Valencia as they were behind the 8-ball virtually the entire game.
And then we have a classic tale of two halves as Real Sociedad and Espanyol splitting the points after a 2-2 draw.
Espanyol got off to a 2-0 lead and were flying in the first half before Real Sociedad came back at home to salvage a draw. That's 2 match days and 2 excellent performances for Espanyol. Maybe they've turned a corner, and it's more a question for La Real as they're still searching for their first win of the new campaign.
Yeah, they might have turned a corner, but there is a team getting left behind, and Girona supporters may already be checking out the teams in La Liga 2 after their 5-0 loss to Villarreal.
I called it already. I called it match day 1. So Villarreal whoop up on Girona in impressive fashion with Nicolas Pepe, Rafa Marin chipping in goals. But the story of the day was their new boy, the Canadian Taj Buchanan, getting a hat trick in his first start for the club. It was madness. It was impressive. Girona, though, through 2 weeks, looked like a solid candidate to go down, as there's nothing positive about them at the moment.
Yeah, and then we ended Sunday with Real Madrid going on the road and just overpowering Oviedo 3-0.
Oviedo hung in there and had chances to level it, but Mbappe and Vinicius were just too much to contain for a full 90 plus. Madrid have won both of their games, and Alonso is tinkering with his squad, but they just don't look right early this season. Obviously, we expect them to grow into it, but for right now, they are winning, but they are not winning how Madrid usually wins, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. That was our last match for Sunday. And then we started Monday night football doubleheader with Atleti stealing a win against a tough Rayo side, 1-0.
Rayo frustrated Athletic Club all night and almost left San Mamés with a point, but they gave away a penalty in the 66th minute, which Sunset gladly placed in the back of the net, and Athletic Club's hot start to the season continues. Rayo actually played well in this game and had their chances, most notably De Frutos' missed shot, where he should have passed for a surefire goal. It was a 2-on-1 with the keeper, and he shot, and the guy, I mean, it was just stupid. I'm feeling this Rayo side, though. They are going to be a tough team to beat.
And then we closed match day 2 with Getafe being able to snatch a win from Sevilla 2-1 in a match that Getafe had 28% possession. Crazy.
Getafe caught Celta by surprise last week, but there's no denying them after a win over Sevilla on the road. They're still on their counterattacking selves where they don't have the ball much. But this time it was Adrian Liso and not Uche that did the scoring. They go to La Mestalla next, and this will be their toughest test so far against Valencia, especially after Valencia lost this weekend. But yeah, this Getafe side are looking good early this season.
Yep, and those are your scores from match day 2. Man, I gotta say, Getafe getting that with 28% possession. There we go.
There you go.
I figured it out. Yeah, I figured it out. Pretty crazy, but I don't know if that's a bigger story or Villarreal, man. Villarreal are looking insane right now.
Villarreal, they were one of the teams that coming into the season I said we needed to watch because they had lost so many pieces. Tierno Berry over there doing things in Everton. Baena going to Atleti, who haven't won a game yet. So, I mean, it's crazy to see what they're doing right now. And they're looking good. And they're the Champions League. So that's going to be awesome to see once things get popping in a less than a month. I was say about a month, but I think that the draw is like on, what is it? Next Monday, I believe, something like that. They're on it's the playoffs right now, the second leg of the playoffs. So I think those happen on Thursday, and then we're doing the draw very soon after that. So, oh man, it's going to be awesome. But anyway, that's a story for another day. On La Liga, Getafe are really impressive right now. Villarreal are looking good. Real Madrid just kind of weird. They're still winning, but they're just kind of weird. And then, I mean, I think the main story of it, though, is Atleti dropping points in back-to-back games. And this one against Elche, I think it mainly had to do with me guaranteeing they'd win. So I won't do that again. But either way, what a weird time for Atleti. I was so excited for them. I was like, man, the only thing this team was missing is like a true, like just dominant goal scoring threat, because they usually a defensive team. But I mean, right now they can't score anything. Crazy.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, and the table looks pretty crazy too. Because I think Getafe, let me check. Getafe is number 4. Yeah. Crazy. And then Atleti is 13th. Yeah, it's crazy. I know
we'll be showing the tables after the 5 match days. Whenever we actually have some data, we'll show the tables. Don't worry. I know you're there. It's your section. You know they're missing. The people are missing you.
No, I'm just saying. Like Getafe, they're taking screenshots of this and be like, oh yeah, you remember before like. I would be doing the same thing if like Austin FC, because we suck. Austin FC, we're like in the top 3, and we're like, look at that, we're here. So
hey, we'll remember this match day 2, August 25th. Whenever it's like May, we're talking about the table. Like, hey, remember that time Getafe started really good? Exactly. It was a fun weekend in Spain. But fun. I think it's time to go to England.
Let's do it then, to the Prem now. Yes, the Prem match day 2, and boy, did we have a good weekend in the Prem. And we're ready to get into all of that. But first, here are your top 5 headlines from Premier League Match Day 2. And it all starts with number 1, Spurs get it done in Manchester.
I said it in the preview. The road team usually has success in this fixture, and it comes true again as Spurs dominate City. 2 matches for Thomas Frank, 5 goals, 2 wins, and 2 clean sheets. Who needs Eze when you have Brennan Johnson, baby?
Number 2, Palace's naughty tifo.
Prior to their draw with Forest, Palace had a tifo of Forest owner Milanakis holding a gun to MGW's head, insinuating that he forced him to sign and stay. And there's other foul things on it as well, but man, it's being investigated by the FA.
Number 3, a day to remember for the Toffees.
Hill Dickinson Stadium opens with a bang as Everton get a win and clean sheet in their first home Premier League match at the stadium. Grealish looked fantastic. Pickford saved a pin. What an atmosphere and what a day for Everton.
Number 4, West Ham continue to spiral.
2 matches in, and West Ham have 0 points and a -7 goal differential. Potter's seat is getting hot, and with Forest and Spurs next up on the schedule for the Hammers, things might get worse before getting better.
And number 5, Liverpool win it late in Newcastle.
The defending champs always seem to find a way, don't they? And this time it wasn't Verts or Ekitike or Salah or Gakpo. Nope, it was a 16-year-old kid named Rio. Life just isn't fair sometimes, folks. That's how it happens.
And those are your top 5 headlines for Premier League Match Day 2. It's a good day to be red, don't you think? It's a good day to be red. Monday. That's why I have all this on. I know I wore Liverpool stuff last episode, but we literally played today because it's Monday for us. So that's why I have.
I don't think anybody's gonna fault you for wearing your team's colors. Okay, it's fine.
Good. I appreciate it. Then. But yeah, we had a really good, fun slate of games. And let's go ahead and go through them all right now. And it started with Friday as what a way to start off match day 2. But especially if you're a Chelsea supporter, as they took West Ham behind the shed for a 5-1 whooping.
West Ham were embarrassed at home in front of their fans against a Chelsea side that took out some frustrations from match day 1. Outside of Paqueta's incredible strike, West Ham were horrible in its dark days in West London, but Chelsea had 5 goals in 5 different scores. You don't see that often. Their young kid, Esteval, looks like he's the real deal. Not as real as that 16-year-old in Liverpool, though.
I like it. That was your Friday night match. Then we moved on to Saturday, and I know Snooze has not been able to stop smiling, and neither have the other Tottenham Hotspur supporters as they go on the road to shut out and get the 2-0 win against Man City.
It happened again. Spurs go to the Etihad and take home all 3 points. It was weird to see City so sloppy after their 4-0 win over Wolves last week. Kudus was electric. Paulinho held his own, and he scored. This Spurs team looks completely transformed under Thomas Frank. City, meanwhile, will probably end up starting Ederson after that mistake that Trafford made today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the highlights or the lowlights of that play. Ederson's definitely starting next.
And then an early goal proves to be the winner for Bournemouth as the hosts get the 1-0 win against Wolverhampton.
A 4th-minute goal from Tavernier was all that was needed for Bournemouth to get past Wolves as they are off to a great start this season. Wolves, on the other hand, have lost both matches to start the season and have yet to score a single goal. Not good times for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
And then, the first battle of the promoted teams goes to Burnley as they get the 2-0 win against Sunderland at home.
And I couldn't have been more wrong about this one. I thought that Sunderland would be spurred on by their win over West Ham. Instead, Burnley looked dominant and had control of this one from start to finish. Maybe I spoke too soon about the Black Cats, but hey, there's always next week.
And then Brentford proves it isn't about the stats if you just score more goals as they beat Aston Villa 1-0.
Yes, that's a good point. I like that saying. Aston Villa couldn't get it done on the road against Brentford, even though they dominated virtually every category except goals. Villa haven't scored yet in the Prem, and they play a stingy Palace side next. Rough start for the Villains.
And then Saturday closed out with more belt to ass as Arsenal put Leeds down 5-0, absolutely dominating.
The good vibes didn't last long for Leeds as they fall heavily to Arsenal on the road. It was so bad that Arsenal were subbing on 15-year-olds before the 70th minute. What is up with everyone in these freaking 15 and 16-year-olds? Just kidding. I know who Dowman is. I've heard his name. He's a big prospect for them. But yes, the 15-year-old Dowman did get some game time. Gyökeres scores a brace, and the only bad thing for Arsenal was seeing Saka come off injured with what looked like a hamstring. It's going to be about 3 or 4 weeks is what I hear.
And then Sunday started off with a 1-1 draw as Crystal Palace welcomed the Nottingham Forest.
outside of the controversial tifo we mentioned in the headlines, the match was a pretty good one too, albeit Forest looked like the better side for most of the match, but by the end, Palace were just holding on, and they did enough to get the draw over the line. Check out the assist for Forest's goal, though. That was some sexy shit right there.
Got to check it out. But moving on, Everton looked almost unrecognizable from last week as they beat Brighton 2-0 at the new crib.
What I took from this match is that the Evertonians are going to make this place a fortress. And Ndiaye is really good. I have heard the name. I've seen his highlights, but watching this one, like, he's just a really good player. Grealish still has it. And with all that said, Brighton still could have had a couple goals leading into the first half. They got very close a few times, but they didn't score. And the soccer gods were on Everton's side, and they bounced back from last week's loss against Leeds.
And then Sunday ended much like it began, with a 1-1 draw between Man United and Fulham. But was the ref on the Fulham payroll?
Fulham and United split the points, and it's more frustration for the Red Devils as they can't seem to get themselves going. The low point was the missed penalty from Bruno Fernandes. He and the ref slightly bumped into each other, if you haven't seen the highlights. Anyway, he's walking backwards from the pen. He slightly brushes the ref, and that throws him off. He loses his shit. He starts yelling at the ref. He puts the ball down and then puts it in the second deck. I mean, come on, get your stuff together. Amorim's got to figure this out, though, because his team does not look great.
And then match day 2 ended on Monday with an instant classic as Liverpool get the 3-2 win on the road against Newcastle in a game that left me wanting a cigarette afterwards.
This was a fun one. I understand the cigarette part. Maybe not for the mutual fans. We were probably hoping for, well, you know what? I'll leave it there. Maybe not for Newcastle fans, because in the end, definitely a game for the mutual is how I'll leave that. It had everything, though. Tempers flaring, goals, a red card, both teams chanting Isak songs, some against, some for. Man, they were aiming towards each other for their chance. Newcastle were down and out at one point. Then it was Liverpool on the ropes. And when the dust settled, the champs took care of business. What a game for a Monday night football game. I guess, yeah, Monday night football. But anyway, it was a fun time. And again, the winner is not any of those stars they paid all that money for. It is Rio, the 16-year-old. Pretty crazy stuff. I bet that felt really good, though. Probably, you know who he is, and you were probably really excited to see that.
Yeah, I was watching him in preseason. He's been tearing up in preseason, little Rio, man. And yeah, seeing him going out there and getting the, by the way, put it in the side netting as well. Not just like a tap in or anything. He curled that thing in the side netting, and I was texting you. I was like, it looked like that keeper had an out-of-body experience, because he was just like, he had no idea what he was doing.
Yeah,
but, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. But what a great win in match day 2 for me, anyway.
I was gonna say the winner came, and I remember watching the ball going that direction and seeing him just standing there. Like, I mean, there's no one within like 20 yards of him. Like, obviously, no one on Newcastle thought he was a threat enough to like pay attention to him. And then he just that dummy from Szoboszlai, and it's like, okay, this guy is one-on-one with the keeper. Like, there's nothing it takes some balls to get that, right? Because it's like in the NFL where you're like wide open, but you just got to catch it. Like, it's like it's that simple, but it's that hard whenever you have that much. And then all the pressure that was on him to win that in stoppage time. I mean, the kid's going to remember this forever.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but think that the entire time. I was like, man, if either of these sides had Isak, they'd probably win. If Newcastle had Isak playing, they probably would have scored a goal more. If Liverpool did, we probably would have scored a goal more. But I don't know. Happy with the win, and happy with match day 2. That was a fun weekend. It was a lot of fun, and it was really cool to have everything back. So now it's definitely watching the baby while I'm in her little, we have a little playpen, and she's got all her toys and everything in there. And it used to be Miss Rachel and Peppa Pig. And now I'm like, no, if you have your toys, I'll keep you entertained, but I'm watching all of these games that are on now. So she'll know all the players' names by the time she's 2 years old. It's excited, man. It's just football all day, soccer all day. Let's do this all day. Yep, she's gonna know little Rio, little Virgil van Dijk. Little
no, none of that.
I'll teach her.
Oh, your teacher. Okay. Well, I think. Wow, that was quick. It felt like we had a lot more to cover, but we did it. Look at us, under an hour too. So, Vic, take us home.
Well, again, thank you everyone for spending time with us talking about some European football. Be sure to like us on all of our follow us on all our social medias. Everything is at No Business Soccer Podcast, except for TikTok, except for Twitter. That is at No Biz Sock Pod, because his name was too damn long. I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be out of town. I'm going to Japan for some episodes coming up, so we'll figure it out.
True. That's
and
true.
We will let you know what's gonna happen. But until then, everyone enjoy the football, and we will talk to you very soon.
Drink PSLs.